If you are doing any type of business online that requires you to have a website, then you need to pay very close attention to the next few minutes of this video. Because unless you have your website set up a certain way, you are most likely going to be targeted for a major lawsuit that could wind up costing you thousands of dollars, possibly even tens of thousands. See, right now there are some very greedy lawyers and underhanded individuals who are taking business owners to the cleaners with a bunch of frivolous lawsuits aimed to get those same lawyers a quick payday. It's like the ambulance chasers, but for the internet. And unfortunately, it's costing tons of businesses $50,000 on average to fix this issue. So what issue am I referring to exactly? It's making sure your sites and digital assets are all ADA compliant. That's right. If you slip up even the slightest in any one of these areas, it could be game over for your bank account. But if you play your cards right, you'll not only protect yourself, but at the same time be able to generate a six-figure income very quickly, like my good friend Vaughn did when he made over $50,000 in a few weeks. And he did it all with one simple software, the same software that you too can get access to today. I'd like to present to you AdaComply. AdaComply is a cloud-based software platform that makes sure you're always ADA compliant right out of the gate. All it takes is for you to copy a single line of code to your site, and AdaComply handles the rest. You can see the full details below, along with a demo of AdaComply. But there's so many benefits to having access to AdaComply, you'll wish you had access a lot sooner. For example, with AdaComply, you'll be able to avoid nasty and costly lawsuits that suck your bank accounts dry, rank higher in the search engines with less effort, service and profit from the $650 billion disabled market, and a lot more. It's a known fact that Google tends to favor sites that cater to the accessible market. Plus, as you've already heard, this is a serious opportunity for profit. My friend Vaughn, as I previously mentioned, was able to generate $50,000 in just 7 weeks, helping other businesses to get their sites ADA compliant. And don't worry if you don't have any technical experience. AdaComply is incredibly easy to use for any beginner. As a matter of fact, you only need to follow these 3 steps. 1. Add a new website to your ADA compliant dashboard with the web URL address. 2. Click to copy the code to your website. 3. Paste the code in your website's footer. And that's it. From there, you can add any other accessibility profiles you need to your site easily from AdaComply. Just follow the simple steps and you'll be ADA compliant in absolutely no time. AdaComply will work in the background to keep your site in the confines of ADA laws without you having to lift a single finger. If you think you don't need AdaComply, then take a look at some lawsuits that have affected some businesses right on this page. Heck, you can even be sued multiple times for the same occurrence, even if you're a major business or restaurant chain, as you'll see below this video. And if you claim to be ignorant of these laws, that still won't stop you from being sued. Quite frankly, if your sites aren't ADA compliant, you can be taken to the bank and sucked dry. As a matter of fact, some of these legal experts actually prey on unsuspecting individuals like yourself. That's why it makes sense to get access to AdaComply today. It's like bug repellent for annoying underhanded lawyers. Plus, you won't have to wade through tons of information to try and keep up with all the different compliance requirements. Over 30 and counting to be exact. So if you're wondering whether or not you can afford to pass up on this offer or not invest in AdaComply right now at this very minute, let me assure you that you can't afford not to. Especially since ADA compliant lawsuits are on the rise and the average lawsuit costs $50,000. Unless you've got $50,000 to burn multiple times, I'd encourage you to get AdaComply today. Right now, at this very moment. So here's what you need to do next. Scroll down and view all the information on this page. Educate yourself and see why it's incredibly important for you to become ADA compliant right now at this very minute. Once you're done, make a small investment to get access to AdaComply today. When you do, all you need to do is copy and paste a single line of code to your sites and AdaComply will handle the rest. There's literally no heavy lifting or tons of pages of information to wade through. You could literally become ADA compliant in the next 3 minutes without any hassle. So, The choice is yours. You can choose to fork out thousands of dollars in lawsuits, or you can make a minimal investment in AdaComply today. Everything you need to legal-proof your websites, rank higher in the search engines, create a six-figure income, and even tap into a $650 billion market is all being provided inside of AdaComply. I've literally made becoming ADA compliant a breeze. It's so easy that all you need to do is copy and paste a single line of code and you're done. By getting access to AdaComply, you can sleep better at night knowing that you won't be a victim to the rise of ADA lawsuits. But if you pass, eventually a lawsuit could be headed your way too. So why not make the right choice and get access to AdaComply today? Especially since you're protected by my no-risk money-back guarantee. By making a tiny investment today, you have everything to gain and absolutely nothing to lose. The only thing you need to do is take action and get your account set up right now. Don't wait and don't delay. Your very future could depend on it. Go ahead and click the button below to get set up now, and I look forward to helping you make all your sites ADA compliant in a flash. Step 1. Create an entry for your website within the AdaComply dashboard. This will give you a JavaScript embed code which you will be able to install on your website. And step 2, install the embed code into your website by copying and pasting the generated code into the header. After doing this, your website visitors will be able to view and set accessibility preferences for viewing and using your site. Examples of such preferences include text-to-speech, page zoom, dark mode, or eye contrast mode. And then, finally, as part of the requirements for accessibility compliance, it is required that all websites provide an accessibility policy within their site. AdaComply makes this process easy for you by simply answering a few questions, after which an accessibility policy will be generated specifically for your website. And if for any reason you do not currently meet any of the WCAG requirements, AdaComply makes it possible for you to include what steps you are currently taking in order to meet compliance. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to this quick demo for the AdaComply web accessibility tool. AdaComply is a platform that lets you get Ada compliance by following a few short steps as outlined for you within the apps. Now, at its core, AdaComply provides you with two main features. One, it provides you with a web widget that will let your users easily select what accessibility preferences they want when they're viewing your website. It also includes provision for zooming as well as inserting of alt tag description into all your images, in addition to other accessibility compliance requirements. That said, let's take a look at the platform and get a clearer view of how easy it is to set up AdaComply for your website. First off, when you log into the platform, you will be immediately greeted by the websites page that basically lists all the websites you have currently set up on your account. At the moment, I have just one, so let's go ahead and create one. Creating one is simple as setting up entering the website title and the URL for the website. So for this, I'm just going to use let's assume it's AdaComply.io. Okay, once created, you're going to get a simple line of code. You will have to copy this code and put it into the header or footer area of your website. Now, there are different ways for accessing the header or footer area of your website. You just need to consult the documentation for where your website is hosted. Okay, now continue to website setting. Assuming you've already inserted the website tag on your website, your users will be able to view the widget just like this. In addition to providing you with web accessibility widget for your website, you also get provision for policy statement generation. Now, in the policy statement is also one of the main requirements for being ADA compliant. Now, a policy statement for your website is basically a declaration of commitment to making your site accessible to as many people as possible. Keyword here being as possible and accessible. Okay. Now, typically the standard for web accessibility is the WCAG standard, that has the 3 levels of compliance, with each one each one having different rating. Now there's the compliance target of AA, A, and triple A, which you can very quickly and easily select your preferred target which you're trying to achieve. Now by default, the A target is selected. Okay, now the A target will also show you all the basic requirements and guidelines for being single A compliant, WCAG compliant. Okay, now typically by just by inserting the widget should be enough for accessibility compliance, but there are other steps that you may need to take in order to be 100% compliant. Now, for all of those steps, you don't need to worry about researching them. They are all listed right here for you. And in addition to them being listed here, there's also provision for you to get more information as to what it means to achieve one of these. So let's just quickly walk through this. Accessibility policy is as simple as answering these questions right here. You have the website name. You can just basically enter your website name. Let me use the name Convert Proof. Okay. Now the website title is the title that's going to be displayed on the accessibility page. Okay. Now the site is from this allows you to specify whether your site is a public sector organization, or if it isn't. If it is, you will need to enter the title of the organization. Now, can users contact you on accessibility issues? Now, having a primary contact information for when there's accessibility issues on your website is also part of the requirements. So you want to make sure that you have your email, your phone number, and your contact form. Now, the second step for generating an accessibility policy is to make sure that all of these checkpoints right here are correct and currently implemented on your website. Let's start from the first one. Is there an alternative to all non-text content? Okay, by default, if you have the web widget installed on your website, you should automatically be compliant on this particular grounds right here. So because the widget will install an alt text on all your images describing what the images are. Okay, and in addition to that, you can also manually set the description for each image on your website, which is very easily done using the web widget. So the number 2 says, have you provided alternative for time-based media? For pre-recorded audio only, pre-recorded audio, this is like basically asking you to insert all tags. Now, if for some reason you don't meet any of this criteria, it is also fine, as the keyword for ADA compliance is that you should be able to meet accessibility for as many people as possible. Meaning it's all up to you to decide at what level of accessibility you want to provide. And if for some reason you can't provide a certain level, you want to make sure that you explain clearly to your visitors that this is not possible as of the moment and you're working on it. So the AdaComply tool lets you specify what steps you're taking exactly to fill up that accessibility challenge you have on your website. So have you provided alternative for time-based media? Now if you haven't, you want to check it, and that will instantly give you a text input form for you to specify what steps you're currently taking to address it. Now when the policy page is generated, all of this information provided here will be reflected inside the policy, and as you update it, it's also going to be updated automatically. So I'm just going to quickly say so once that is set, you can just go ahead and update the policy statement, and this will instantly give you your accessibility policy URL. Now the accessibility policy URL is where you will is the link where you will have to add into your website to view your accessibility policy. Now this is sample accessibility policy page that was generated using the AdaComply tool. Now as you can see right here, this was expertly written by qualified professionals and should automatically pass for an accessibility policy statement. Now mind you, this is also auto-updated as you go ahead and implementing the different policy requirements for your website. So every time you come in here and edit it, as you may finally, you've been able to rectify your pre-recorded content, time-based content accessibility challenge. Right now, it will automatically be updated on your policy statement that has already been rectified. Okay. With that all said, that's all for the AdaComply tool. Looking forward to seeing you promote this product to your customers, as it's going to serve their every need. Thank you very much.